Hey guys, well today I want to continue on with my Nettle Cordage uses, and I guess it's kind of a series or whatever. But anyway, before I get into that, the main part of the video, which is the Nettle Cordage and stuff, I just kind of want to revisit something real quick that a couple of people have asked me about, and that's about my birch oil uses. I've kind of taken a break from my birch oil uses just because there's so many things that I have that I've been trying to do and accomplish, and just so many projects out there. I mean, it's just, man, I mean, just with summer and just family obligations and stuff, they haven't been too bad, but I mean, it's just with everything, I don't have enough time for everything, you know what I mean? It's just like everybody else. But I've been doing a lot with this natural cordage. I've been doing a lot with other stuff. That Clothed and Confident series I'm doing with Justin Wolf, Wolf, on YouTube. Anyway, this birch oil use deal, I've got a lot of ideas for this. I've not put that to bed, so to speak. I've got some good tests for it to do, or to try it out on. But some people have asked me about when I applied it to my knife sheath, as far as a leather conditioner. And here comes somebody down our dirt road. Sorry about that. Anyway, as a leather conditioner and preservative and stuff like that. This is my LT Wright Genesis, in here, with the sheath that came with the knife. And I applied that birch oil to this sheath a while ago. Every day after work, I put my fun clothes on, my bushcrafting clothes or whatever. I mean, this is just what I wear. And I always have my belt knife on me. On the weekends, I'm always carrying it. I'm out in the woods, even if I go shopping or whatever. I'm one of those guys at Walmart that, at least I'm not wearing my pajamas, right? But anyway, I wear this all the time. I wear it in the rain, whatever. It's, I haven't tested it in particular, I haven't like dunked it in water or anything like that, but I mean, I've worn it in the rain. I wear it all the time, and it's been doing a pretty good job. About the same as any other leather protector that I've used in the past. And the smell has dissipated. It probably could use another coat. One of the questions was, does it make it sticky, stuff like that? No, it doesn't make it sticky. It's just, it adds a very wood smoke type odor to it. Okay, I mean, it's definitely noticeable. It will dissipate out over time, but it's definitely noticeable. But other than that, it's just a pure leather protector, in my experience, and I think I did that a few months ago anyway. So anyway, just to answer those questions, it worked good, I think. Okay, on to the Nettle Cordage. This is some stuff that I made over about not really a day's period, but at least an hour or two, something like that. And I'm going to be doing some tests with this on another video or whatever. But this one I was able to make quite a bit of cordage. And I'll show you the method that I used. I kind of touched on it on a different video, but I didn't do it very good. So 5, 10, I've got at least 12 feet of cordage. And I want to keep this piece whole because I have a use for this whole piece. The trick, or what seems to get me with this little cordage, is you can definitely tell the variations in thickness and thinness in that cordage as compared to the cordage I use for my bow drill. It's a thicker cordage, so you can't really see the variations that much. Comparatively, the variations aren't that much, but when you're dealing with a small cordage, try to get you a good idea. See, I tried to start off really thin there, but then, so I'll show the two pieces together here, but then I got up there and it's definitely noticeably bigger. That's just my inexperience with making cordage. I mean, I've done it a bit, but I mean, I'm obviously not perfect at it, and I don't do it like all the time. So, and I get impatient. Some of these skills, it takes some patience, and I mean, it's almost an art form, and I'm not an artist. So anyway, so what I was going to say was basically, and this little piece I'm going to use for something too. Basically what I was going to say, let's say you want a really thin, quite strong cordage. And these pieces off this nettle come like this, or they can come like this, you know, and then some of them are even smaller. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to weave a couple of pieces this small together, okay, and then maybe we'll do some tests together with it. What I need to do is I need to try and with this bigger piece try to separate it down into almost the same diameter as that other piece that I have, and it's kind of folded on itself, so it's going to be a little difficult, but I think I just did it. I guess it wasn't that difficult. Okay, I'm going to get a close-up of how to do this cordage a little faster than the cordage I made with the bow drill, or the cordage I made for the bow drill. So let me reposition the camera and I'll get a close-up on this. Okay, I kind of touched on this on one of my other videos or whatever about how you could roll this cordage across your pants leg or something to make it go a little faster. But with these BDUs, they're so slick that it doesn't work very well. But if you just grab, hopefully this will work, but if you just grab a dish towel, you know, a piece of leather would be nice and stuff, but if you just grab a dish towel or something, you should be able to, and with these longer pieces it's going to be a little bit hard to get started with, but you should be able to roll it. Okay. So I rolled that one. I'm going to put my thumb and kind of hold the material. This one's not wanting to cooperate. It's pretty small stuff. We'll get it started here by twisting it. I want a pretty tight twist, and you got to watch down. You can't see it, but down at the other end here, you got to kind of twist it the same way, kind of take the kinks out of it, so to speak. Anyway, let's get it started. We'll help it along here. Let's see if that did the trick by just getting it started. And I want to apologize for that. My thoughts aren't coming 100% right now. I'm trying to get off work mode and into bushcrafting mode, and sometimes it's tough to make that transition when you come home. Anyway, get this one a little further out of the way. Now, for that long piece, I did this in the house. I was watching TV, and I actually had just kind of a random, you know how like your wives buy or something, some random throw pillow or something, and I had it across my lap. Anyway, I rolled both pieces, and I'm going to help twist it. Okay, so I was doing this while I was watching TV and doing it on our pillow, and just a heads up, guys, this will shed a tiny bit of material onto, like, for instance, this dish rag. Once I get going on it and stuff, it's going to have some little random pieces of nettle and stuff on there. And that's kind of what happened to the pillow that I was using in the living room. And just a tip, just a heads up, if you don't vacuum that off, or if you don't take it outside and shake it off, and your wife happens to notice that, well, let's just say you might want to do that. You might want to brush it off or vacuum it so you don't get hit by that pillow. So that's just a tip for you. Anyway, so you just roll it like that, and it does, you know, it seems like it's going kind of slow, but it's a lot faster than the twist and turn method, and which we use for bigger cordage, or which I use for bigger cordage. Okay, roll it a couple times. And I'm sure it would help if I had something. Actually, this is working pretty good, but you know, if you had, I suppose, a little pine pitch or something like that on your hands or something to kind of help it along. Now this cordage is very fine, okay? It's very, very small stuff. And I haven't had to splice it yet. I'm going to have to splice it, not for a long time actually. But let's just say we're working with or we have a big piece that we did 5 or 6 feet easy or something, and we've got several different splices in there. Well, that one splice that Jamie showed us is an extremely good splice in my opinion. It's better than just tucking the pieces up, in there and just laying them in there and stuff. It's going to be stronger in my opinion. But in my opinion, it's still going to be a weak spot. Your splices are always going to be weaker than if everything was just continuous and nice and uniform. So I'm just going to get this piece done here real quick. In order to kind of help us with that, we can wrap this cordage again. And I'll see if I have enough here to do it. I might not. Let me do this for a little bit longer, get maybe about a 4-foot piece or something, and I'll come back to this. Okay, now that I have, I don't know, a couple feet anyway, it's going to be easier to work with and easier to show you. So I'm going to bend it in half, and let's just say, let's just say we've got some splices throughout here, and even if we don't, this is still going to help it. But when I originally did this, I rolled it away from me and then twisted it away from me. Now that it's been wrapped once, I'll roll it towards me. I'm going to make sure these don't tangle up. Roll it towards me. I want to get a good couple of twists on it for sure. I'll hold that there. And that seems to be rolling pretty good. Roll it towards me. And I want these twists to be pretty tight. I don't want them lackadaisical. I don't want them all loose. I want to make sure I get quite a few twists towards me. And if it starts to kink on you because you twisted it too much, like that right there, that's okay. Just be careful of it or whatever, but just hold it there like you would normally, and that kink will eventually come out because it takes twists out of the individual strands as you're twisting together the entire piece of cordage. So anyway, that's good and twisted together. And I'm going to twist it. That kink just went out. I don't know if you saw that or not, but the kink just went out. Okay. So I'm going to do that again. It's got a little thin down here. It's the end of my cordage. I don't feel like making a bunch right now. So that's good and twisted. Okay, now you've got a 4-ply piece of cordage, and it's still very thin. Okay, very thin, but now it's 4-ply, and you can't even hardly tell that's 4-ply. See if we can get my ugly hand out of the way. Look at that. Now that's going to spread those splices out and just make your cordage that much stronger. And this is still holy crap. This is still thin enough to do like a snare with. This is strong stuff. Alright, let's do some tests with it real quick. I realize it's not that big, and I'll try to do some tests with it, but we'll just do some minor tests. Maybe not with this, but maybe just as in general with the cordage in general. Anyway, let me get reset up. Okay, so on the bottom is the piece I double wrapped, which would be double wrapped as in being a 4-ply cordage. On the top is a 2-ply cordage. You can see they're very close to the same diameter. I'm going to do some tests with the 2-ply cordage, and if it breaks, I'm going to make it a 4-ply cordage and then continue on. If it breaks on one of the easy ones. But I don't think it's going to, because I mean this Nettle Cordage is pretty strong. But anyway, let's do some lifting tests on it real quick. Okay, these are going to be some real rough tests. I tried to weigh these with my bathroom scale and it's messing up, and I have a deer hanging scale, but I don't think that's very accurate with these lower weights. So anyway, I'm just gonna guesstimate. You know, I think this weighs 6 or 7 pounds, whatever. Anyway, it's a random household chemical. It's an herbicide that I use around here. There are different variables that will go into tests like this, such as the you know, where you attach it at, if you were to do a knot, something like that. I'm just gonna, you know, this is just a real rough test. So let's see if this even holds. I want to make sure. We'll get down one of the thinner spots and we'll see if this holds. Okay. Now I'm going to mark that spot for you. That's right over the handle. Look at how small that is, and I didn't do a very good job actually right there weaving it. And the barn chain oil is a little lighter. All right, well, I actually did. I thought it might drop on that one. That's got to be at least, like I said, about 7 pounds easy. I'm going to go to the bucket and start. This is a 5-gallon bucket, and start filling it with water. So we're already past. I might have to go get about 3 or 4 more of these. That's got to be 2 to 2.5 gallons of water, which I believe water is really close to, it's 7 something a pound, or 7 pounds or so per gallon. So it's got to be close to 14 pounds. And that's a really crappy spot where I'm at on my weave. All right, I'm gonna go, hopefully, oops, yeah, hopefully you can see that I raised that. Once again, pretty crappy spot where I wove it. Right up there. I'm gonna go get some more water. Okay, I just put another one of those buckets in there, and the water level is right there. So, I mean, we're getting pretty close to capacity here. It's somewhat the same spot. It's not exact. I think it's going to break here. Maybe that makes a difference. Let's see. Yep, snapped it right there. Let's try a different spot where it's a little bit thicker. So this is really close to 30 pounds, I would guess, with darn near 5 gallons of water in here. So a little better spot, and it worked. I might be able to do that little tiny piece that I four-weaved or whatever. I'm not sure if I will be able to or not. And this is far from exact testing. It's just, you know, a little fun in the garage. Look at that. Look at that. Ow, gosh, that hurts my fingers. But just four-weaving it. Man, that made some strong cordage right there. We'll fill her up to the brim and try that little piece again, and then after that, I mean, that's a pretty good test for such small cordage. Yeah, that was a pretty crappy spot I did right there. Oh, the wife's coming home. She's going to wonder what in the... She stopped wondering a long time ago. All right, there you go. That's a full bucket of water. That's easy 35 pounds. And that's where it held. Okay, now, and I realize this is, you know, far from accurate test, but I didn't make very much of this 4-ply cordage, and I can't hardly hold on to it with as thin as it is. So I'm just going to kind of wrap it around a couple of things here real quick. Well, that didn't work out. Nope, didn't hold. But that was close. I mean, it was almost up. And for such a small, thin diameter cord, that's pretty good. Okay guys, well I hope you liked this video, liked seeing some of these tests and stuff I put it through. It wasn't rocket science or anything like that, but it was just kind of fun to test how strong this cordage is. I'm going to call this at least a 35-pound cordage. That's a 5-gallon bucket. Water's approximately 7 pounds. It's actually, I think, almost closer to 8, but anyway, we're going to call it 35. It's at least a 35-pound cordage. That's pretty good. For me, that's a good, with my inexperience or whatever, just novice view, I would say that's a good rabbit snare poundage. I mean, that's pretty good. So if this is a 35-pound cordage, this cordage, in comparison, I mean, I have no idea what, I might be able to hang, maybe not quite hang, but this has got to be at least a 70 or 80-pound cordage at least. And, if you watched my other video with the first time I was doing the, first time I was doing the natural cordage bow drill, I did this basswood bark, and it's not as refined as the nettle cordage, but still it's a good cordage. I actually posted a picture of me on Facebook hanging from my rafters with this, and I actually had to do it twice because the first time my daughter didn't take pictures that I was, I looked like a goofball. I looked like a goofball anyway, but anyway, I hung from it. We retook the pictures, and I hung from it again, and the second time a little piece did break off, but I weigh about 170 pounds, and anyway, so I would say that's about the tensile strength of this. So, hope you guys are having a good one, and thanks for watching.